it must tell you that they're in serious financial trouble. And it's not only the investments in the market, but it is their investments in commercial real estate. And they're going to get taken apart because they were making loans interest only. Buildings worth $100 million. They lend the money and do a 5-year interest-only loan. The buyer doesn't even put anything down. And that's what they were doing along with the banks. So a word to the wise is sufficient. If you want further information, all you have to do is email me, Bob, B-O-B, at INTFORECASTER.com, Bob at intforecaster.com, and we'll answer your questions. And we don't charge anybody anything. The only people who pay are people who subscribe, and that's it. And you get all the free advice you want.
Now, absolutely, and you have helped me, Bob. And so if you've got an insurance policy, you may want to write to Mr. Chapman, because Bob can help you on that. If you've got cash value in it, it may be time to look at that a couple of times and maybe take it out. You say July and August, the bank's financials are going to be reporting worse earnings. And at that time, we've got till maybe July. At that time, it's really going to get clobbered. That's going to be like the hammer coming down on the market, you're saying, in July and August. It's going to be a hot summer, isn't it?
Yeah, I think if the market were to go to 6,600 prior to that, and then they get hammered with that, during the summer we could see a breakdown to 5,000, 5,500. And then in the fall, the market almost always goes down. And that may hammer it right there down to 4,000. So, in one fell swoop here, we may be looking at something very similar that occurred in 1872 and 1929. I mean, people just don't, they're being lied to by the major media. I watched CNBC today, and they had a man on there from Everbank, which does currencies. And he had mentioned in his publication about the Working Group in Financial Markets, better known as the Plunge Protection Team. And they had 5 people badgering him. So, well, where's the proof? Well, there can't be any proof that this governmental operation that's going on, because they won't tell anybody about it. In 1988, in August, they instituted, under an executive act by Ronald Reagan, an act which said that in the event of market turmoil, that the Fed, the Treasury, the Fed of New York, the SEC, and the CFTC could get together and go in the market and help it from crashing. This is essentially what it was for. Well, they distorted the whole thing. They're rigging the markets all over the world 24/7. The executive order is 12631. 12631, and it exists. And I saw these people today, people who I know, I've known for years, lie on television, say, well, we don't even know if such an executive order exists. Well, I get news for you. It does.
No.
And they're lying, and they lie all the time. And it's disgusting what goes on. And the markets are rigged every day.
More when we get back. We're going to talk a little bit about the housing market when we get back. Is it coming back? In some places, a little bit. More with Robert Chapman. Talking with Robert Chapman, the international forecaster. And, Bob, I got a question for you. ASU announced that Phoenix prices are off 37% since February 2008, more expected. Prices have fallen in Phoenix each month for the last 2 years. Each month since the last 2 years, and now they're equal to November 1998 levels. Median price is now $117,500. Inland Empire, California, prices are coming back, but they had a terrific drop. The average price there is $53,000. LA prices are holding. Went from $435,000 down to $300,000, but foreclosure sales are up. Now, when you're looking at that, now's not the time to buy a house. They've got further to drop in most of these hot areas, don't they?
Yeah, it should do. You have an anomalous situation in Southern California. They gave a moratorium on foreclosures, and now this past month and onward, those foreclosures are going to become reality, and those figures are going to get worse. My original figure for Phoenix and the LA Basin and the Inland Empire was a drop of 45 to 50%, in the more expensive homes, 60 to 70%. And that was made in October of 2004, if you remember. And I said the market would peak during the second half of 2005, and that was the time to sell. Needless to say, I was right on. Now, we're going to go down, you're talking 35% or so down in Phoenix. Phoenix is going to go down 50 to 55%. Los Angeles Basin, 50 to 55%. The Inland Empire, probably 60 to 70%. And many of the houses there now are down 55 to 60%. Northern California, the same thing. Las Vegas is like a dog's breakfast. And many other major cities are going to see that kind of a drop. The average throughout the country, say 2 years from now, the average drop will probably be in the 40% area, maybe 35. Gary Schilling says it's going to be higher. I think he's wrong, and I get the greatest respect for him. He's a wonderful statistician, if you may, and an economist. But I was right about a year ahead of him, and I was all alone, as you know. And that's where I think this is going. So, but that's not the worst of it. We still have Alta loans that will last through the end of the year that are going to be foreclosed on, at least half of them, that are up for reset. You've got option arms and expensive homes that will be going out into 2012. You have people who made good money, who had beautiful FOICs of 750 and 800. They're losing their jobs. So you're going to have unnatural selling of homes that are expensive, and they were prime mortgages. And so we may go as long as to 2013 in this foreclosure thing. But I'm spotting 2012. After that, a minimum of 5 years of bumping along the bottom, and it may be as long as 20 years. So that's where this is going.
Okay. So don't get antsy about buying a new house right now. One of the things that you talk about is a meeting with a media blackout with Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, David Rockefeller. You had Ted Turner, George Soros, Oprah Winfrey, Michael Bloomberg, and others. We have any idea what they talked about, or any idea what's being talked about at the Bilderberg meeting over?
And Oprah was there because she was very rich, and Bloomberg was there because they did it in New York City. Both of them are not members of the Illuminati, but the rest of them are. And I don't know what the meeting was about, but, you know, you can imagine anything when somebody has a secret meeting. It's just like when the Bilderbergers meet. You get people from the press there, and they won't report on what goes on. I mean, what kind of a thing is that? I mean, it's a secret.
Well, the Bilderberg meeting you reported was in Greece. And at that meeting was Larry Summers, David Rockefeller, Paul Volcker, and Tim Geithner. I mean, that they are obviously setting the program. These people can't be happy either, are they?
No, because I and others report on it, and it just burns them up. And I've been reporting on their meetings since 1967, and when nobody was except Jim Tucker and the Spotlight, which is now the American Free Press. And I was the financial editor at that time, or the equivalent thereof, during the early 70s. And so it used to be a big secret. Now it's a semi-secret. And when everything hits the fan here, and we're only seeing the beginning of it, over the next 10 years, the exposure is going to be enormous because people are going to say, how did this happen and who did this to us? And when they find out, they're going to go bananas, and I wouldn't give a plug nickel for the lives of these people. I don't know whether we can protect them all.
I don't know that we would want to. More if we get back on Erskine Overnight with Robert Chapman, the international forecaster. Just off of tonight, you can get an idea of why you need to subscribe to theinternationalforecaster.com.